I'm a broken man because this week has been chaos in the dealership. We have all sorts kicking off, including the most bizarre warranty claim you've ever seen 2 years after he bought the car. Not only that, we've had the AA round. We failed. We've had a broken ramp. We finally got rid of the AC Cobra that's been a complete headache. If it falls off on the motorway, I'm not going to be mad. My mate came round to do some plumbing. Hey up. I've been poorly and I struggled with a sandwich order.
Bacon and spam, never been done before.
And to top it all off, I crashed my bloody car.
Anyway, how are you?
Off, come look at this. I haven't knocked a car in 15 years. Yes, welcome back to being a used car dealer in the UK, and welcome back to my weekly recap where I'm going to talk you through everything that's happened in the last week, and it has been pretty chaotic to say the least. If I look tired, it's because I am. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm thinking I need a break, actually. I'm probably going to take a couple of weeks off at some point. However, this is what's been going on in the dealership. So first of all, I mentioned a warranty claim. I will go on to that because it's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on a piece of paper. However, we have had the AA round. So AA Cars said they were going to sponsor the channel, and they have done, and they've come round to start pulling the dealership apart. It's probably a bit of a cruel way of saying it. To inspect all of the cars that I've got for sale, which was fun. So here's a little bit of a snippet as to what went on with the AA this week, and there will be a full video of that to come. Gentlemen, would you like a coffee? Would you like some breakfast?
I'm all good for now, thank you.
Right, bribe, cash.
No, none of that stuff.
Right, okay. Let's get the jag out, Tim.
Well, can we offer you handsome gentlemen a drink, biscuits, anything? Are you comfortable? Are you warm enough?
Yeah, I'm not fine.
Where'd you get your hair done? It's beautiful.
It really is, isn't
It brings
it?
out your eyes.
And a very thick sward as well. Yeah, you know.
What do you drive?
Me, I've got a Golf GTI at the moment.
Ah, okay, good call. Beautiful car, my favourite car.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Big fan. What colour?
Grey.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Something grey. What's your favourite car, by the way, in the world, Golf?
I'd have to say Golf GTI. All things considered.
Love a Golf.
Oh,
Says a lot about a guy.
absolutely.
Integrity, well hung, usually.
Well hung, yeah,
Intelligent, yeah. No bodies?
Not in there, no.
Not yet. Right,
Have a fail.
What's up? We failed.
Your number plate lights don't work.
Yeah, but we
You know,
get
he'd
them
look
down.
really happy about that as well, didn't he?
They're too happy.
Yeah, a bit too excited to fail it. Are you on a commission? Do you want to be?
What you got next for us?
Right, what have we got next?
That's not standard.
You're not expecting this one. To be fair, they were all really sound lads, but it did not go as planned. I'll talk you through that. If you can hear some background noise, by the way, that's because they're back in today to do some more inspections. Chaos, but I think it's all for the best. However, other things that have happened. About 2 weeks ago, we had a ramp that was broken. We got an RS6 stuck on it, and it was an absolute nightmare to try and get working. I thought you might find that interesting to watch, actually, but I'll show you that in a second. But the reason we had to get it moved is because we had the AC Cobra came back in. Now, I bought this Cobra basically on trade from another dealer who'd taken it in part exchange, bizarrely. It has been an absolute nightmare, that car, and I ended up going down to a specialist. We've talked through different ideas for it, and finally we've ended up in a position where he can get it into his specialist. So we had to get that off the ramp. I thought you might find it interesting just to see what it's like trying to push a broken car onto a ramp in our dealership, because the ramps look great, don't they? They're a pain in the Do you want to stay on the phone to listen to the bang, or?
Yeah, why not?
Just be careful, it's part of the way, Alex. So those three are connected, and then it goes to just two, like say, two cables that go to the front. Yeah. What about whacking it with a hammer? Right, Alex, I'm going to need you under there.
Yeah, I'll hold the camera.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Right, here we go.
Press the down button now.
Right. Tim's panicked because he stood under it. You're a legend. Yeah. You're an absolute legend, mate.
Check the section on your cable. Do they
Oh no. So if you look at it, so it's just the ones looking dead on at it, posts on the left-hand side look to be lower on the threads, and the right-hand side seem to be higher on the threads. Yeah, they just need to go up at the front, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, sorted. Right. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Cheers, Paul. Thanks. Thanks, bye-bye. Bye-bye. That was well sketchy.
It was.
Wasn't it? That was sketchy.
Didn't like being stood under there.
No, wasn't a fan.
We should have sent Alex.
Should have noticed how he stood there again. Watched everything kick off. I get to press the button. So it should all lift up pretty much at the same time.
It's not on everything, is it?
It's not too bad when it gets moving, it's just getting it up on that lip that's going to be straight. I've buggered it. I've already buggered it.
Yeah, go forward again.
Another tough day in the office for Alex, eh?
Oh, yeah. That'll do. Go.
Right, so we know that's, are we going to clear at your side there, yeah?
It looks like it, yeah.
Right.
Unless you want to get it more level to a point where it's pretty much straight and we can just...
That's the sweet spot, isn't it? I think getting the front wheels on would be the hardest bit.
It's a pain, this, isn't it?
It'd be really helpful if that would... Oh, do that. Perfect. Yeah!
Get that bloody handbrake on a sec.
Right, so I'll give it a little tickle to the right as well when it comes off. So we convince...
Bit more to the right. A little bit more to...
Which
to just
right?
square it up. Sorry, your left. Right, straight at that.
Right, straight. Ready? Get some. Good, Tim?
Yeah.
It's coming across to the ears on the butt.
Is it?
Yeah, keep it down.
Right, is that straight?
I don't know, not on the ramp anymore. Well, the wheel's straight, yeah.
Yeah.
Why were you turning left?
It just looked like it needed a nudge. Are we straight?
It was, Tim. Oh, let's just shove it on, see what it looks like, because we can't tell till it's on.
No.
Come on!
I think that's as good as we need it. Let's go.
Okay. We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take that. Okay. It's so cool though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That does look cool up there. Morning, Tony. You all right? Yeah. If it falls off on the motorway, I'm not going to be mad.
Relieved, if anything.
Yeah, please. Yeah. You all right, Graham?
Not bad, though. Thank you.
Good. It's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Bit of you.
Yeah.
I can see you in this.
No, thank you.
Wind in your hair.
No, those days are long gone, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It was worth a go.
It was working.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. To be honest, probably not. Stinks of fuel in here.
Does it?
Yeah. Smells like a John problem, not a Rob problem.
Just get it before it goes over that one.
So, fingers crossed, I'm going to give you loads of updates as to what's going on with the Cobra, but we were thinking about putting a big block Chevy in it, or a small block Chevy, or whatever, just a big stupid engine. And then we're looking at, well, can we fix the current engine that's in it? If you've not seen the videos on the Cobra, by the way, lots of different ones to watch here and here. However, it's a bit of a basket case, that car, to say the least, and hopefully John is going to give us the best solution possible. And I think what we're going to do is basically repair the engine that's in it and probably put a cam in it or something like that and get it to its sort of full potential. So it's exhausting. So they're the easy things. We have been buying and selling cars, by the way, and I'll kind of run through. We've had a couple of deals that have worked this week, so there's some positive news. My car buying site that I set up with a friend called Paul is actually going quite well, so we have bought some cars this week. I'll talk you through them. Now, none of these have actually come through into stock because we've just bought them to trade them on, get the people the money that they want to get. And by the way, I want to talk about motorway at some point because I've had some nightmares with motorway at the moment. However, these are the cars that we bought. So we bought a Peugeot 3008. Bought a BMW 7 Series, an Audi RS3, a Range Rover Sport, a Jaguar F-Type, a CHR, whatever one of those is, and some sort of a Volvo. So Paul in the background is currently ferreting away through the leads that are coming through Carmora, and that is helping prop up the business in cubic cars. It's sort of a little bit all over the place at the moment. So there's some positive stuff happening, but as you can imagine, there's a lot of back and forth with Paul on these, which is fine. We're trying to set up another business here, but it's just absolutely exhausting. I'm so tired. Honestly, I cannot explain how shattered I am. In other things, we've had the washing machine now fit into the business, and it might sound like small news, but I've got a friend to come over and fit it because I trust him implicitly. It's a guy called Matt that you might have seen on the channel before. Now, Matt, I bought a Porsche 911 off. That's kind of how we met, and it's blossomed into a friendship. He's a proper sound bloke, so I had him come in and fit the washing machine for me because he is a plumber or has done plumbing stuff in the past, and I thought you might find it quite interesting to watch that situation. So here's Matt.
We're going to have to go through that wall. There-ish. Let's see what we're dealing with. Tape measure, probably 900mm. We're hoping that that's the same on that side. So 900mm takes us to there. Pick up the pipe under there, and the waste on there. Right, that's the end of part one. Part two, I've got to go to screw fix and pick up a load of stuff. What is that? Something special.
How's it looking?
Yeah, alright. Apart from everything in the whole building has been painted to within an inch of its life. So your stop tap was painted solid. All your pipe work is painted solid.
A lot of whinging going on in here.
We've got problems.
It's nothing important.
I'm going to chop out somewhere-ish here, clean this pipe up a bit, and I'm going to, because I need to now take that feed to that tap, but I also need to take an extra feed through the wall to the washing machine, or bring the washing machine pipe through the wall to connect to that. Which I can't do now because Tim's decided to wash a RS6 instead. Selfish. End of part 2. Ooh. Got a pencil? Yeah.
What's that? What is that?
World's longest pencil.
You're making a meal out of this, aren't you?
You having a laugh?
Dragging this out, and you made a bloody mess.
A right mess, I tell you. Proper.
Ooh, oh, it's right through me wood panelling. You've gone a bit too wide with that. Hey up. Gone a bit wide with that, really. You can get me balls in there. That feels good.
This is waste set up.
After all of my hard work, it is a moment of truth.
Quick 15.
Oh, we've got up to wash.
Yeah.
We've got up to wash. Have you just turned it on with nothing on? Tell it's not on. Bloody electric bill.
Great content.
Now in the background, we have sold a couple of cars, they did mention. So last week we had a bit of a nightmare with a company called Zuto. Zuto is a third-party finance broker, and as far as I'm concerned, I will never deal with them again because of what they put in the terms and conditions. Basically, they want you to warrant a car forever and pay their legal fees if they ever take you to court. Just scumbags, don't want to know at all. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm throwing you under the bus there, but I am. Anyway, that Golf, we ended up back in the deal because that's custom came through Zuto and we just didn't want to do the deal with them, and I felt bad for the guy that was trying to buy it. But literally the very next day, a guy walked in, test drove it. His dad was a manager, I won't say where, but he worked in the trade. He got it, there's no messing about on price. We'll transfer it. Can you just do a service, do an MOT? Usual sort of stuff that you'd expect anyway. So we've sold the Golf GTD that we bought from a subscriber. Thank you very much for that car. So that was a nice little deal to be done. Also last week, I had a problem with an Audi RS6. Now this car was perfect. We had a guy come in to look at it and he couldn't fathom why he didn't want to buy it, but he just didn't want to buy it. It was a bit of a waste of time really, but it's just, you know, at least he was honest and said it's not for me. Again, the very next day, a guy walks in, loves it, fired it up, can I take it, did a finance prop for him, got accepted like that, the car has gone, sold. So it's really weird how it really sometimes isn't the car you're selling, it's more often than not the person that you're selling the car to, and whether or not they're just a buyer and wanting to go, or whether or not they're actually trying to find a reason not to buy the car. I find that sometimes feels to be the case. Anyway, so 2 cars sold this week, which is really positive, and we did take a deposit on the Mustang, which in turn has turned into another nightmare because it's failed its MOT, and trying to get parts for that, I'll talk you through that next week because we'll have all the information to hand as to whether or not we can actually get that deal across the line this month. So, some positive stuff. Now, all the while, I've been trying to film this content for you on YouTube because genuinely, I love it and it is good fun. So, I've been filming this week. We filmed the Range Rover Sport that we bought through Carmora and also an M5 Touring that got a lent by a friend called Tom. I was incredibly critical on that review and I got criticised in the comments of the review for being too critical. But I'll say as it is, I don't like it. Anyway, that inherently meant a lot of filming last week, which meant a lot of trying to travel around, find all the nice places, because we do all this scenic shot for you. You know, when we do a nice video, we put a lot of effort into it. And that was a bit of a pain in the backside, especially when it felt like every road was closed. And we had some pretty expensive cars in some pretty horrible places, as you can see in this clip. Well, at least it's not worth 120,000 quid. I'd be really worried about it then. At least it's not got satin PPF all over it and there's hedges, because I'd be worried about it then. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, How's a man doing a 3-point turn here today? Round about here, mate, but honestly. Literally a roundabout there. Oh, brilliant. God, it's comfy, isn't it? Ooh, there's been some bumpers smashed on there, hasn't there? Please tell me that's not just only gone down. We're going there across the road. Has she just gone and walked on that bridge, even though everything says don't walk on that bridge? The things I do to try and find a nice backdrop for you to watch is profound. Is it broken?
I don't think there's anybody there. Because when I came home, I had to go around the other way.
Is it right? It's not having it.
Have you seen it lift at all while you've been
No.
parked? No.
I reckon I could stuff this through gate though.
Good man. I hope you do.
No. Right, I'll spin round. Cheers, mate. Nice greengrocers that, by the way. Yeah, lovely. Not many of those left nowadays. Now, big news last week as well is we were raffling a Mini. Now, it's done now, done and dusted. That Mini has now been won by a subscriber called Matt, who's going to be coming across next week to pick up the car. He's decided he'd rather take the car than take the cash. So, a massive congratulations to you, Matt, and also a massive thank you to everybody that entered that raffle. I did mention that with some of the proceeds we wanted to take Keith and his missus away. Keith is coming across to meet me as well, properly next weekend, and meet the winner, which will just be lovely, and probably go for a beer or something like that. So, just a lovely situation created by YouTube and also the fantastic following that we're getting on the channel. So thank you again for that. Really appreciate it. We have got potentially more news on another idea, that sort of ilk coming forwards, but I'll give you more information as we're going to go with that. Can you see why I'm knackered? There's all sorts going on. Now, when that mini raffle drew, it should have been instant because the raffle ended at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. It didn't actually get drawn until 9 o'clock on the evening, which meant that the following day I had to call the subscriber, which was of course a Sunday, so I had to do it from home with my tiny little boy wanting to get involved, as you can see in this clip here. So after an entire day of waiting, we finally got the results through on the mini raffle. So it is a Sunday and I've been palmed with this child purely so the missus can hold the camera, Ralphie. So let's give him a ring, shall we? And give him some hopefully good news. Oh, you're going to be a pain, mate. Now, I did allude to the fact that I crashed my car this week. And I did. You know when you're just really stressed out and everything's just getting on top of you? I went to go get my hair cut and he was late. and I was in a bit of a mood about it and just needed to get back and kind of get on top of stuff. And I unfortunately ended up reversing my already broken Audi SQ5, which got stuffed into me by a customer on a part exchange, into a lamppost, which is embarrassing at best because there's some lads in a van watching eating sandwiches. So I've had a bit of the first time I've hit anything in a car for ages. And I'm sure you want to see the damage. So there you go.
Anyway, how are you?
Off, come look at this.
Oh, what's happened there then?
I was rushing to get to my hair appointment on time, and I've given it a right whack on the lamppost. These are bloody deer, I've been here before.
It's all right, that's fine. Is
Careful, because that feels a bit loose, doesn't it?
That'll pop back in, that.
Than that. Could be worse, could have been Tom's M5.
Yeah, it could have been worse. At least it's just your workhorse.
Well, I'm thinking if we can heat that
And just
push
press
it down, because it's split, isn't it? So if we can heat it and get it down somehow, bumper protector across the top. I haven't knocked a car in 15 years.
Bloody hell. Yeah, it ain't a disaster. It's your workhorse
She's going to love
anyway.
this.
Yeah.
She's going to bloody love this. I can't go home in this. The amount of criticism I give her for curbs. Oh.
Anyway, you can still use the thing. It ain't like it's...
It's embarrassing is what it is, Tim.
It's a bit embarrassing for
Well, it
you,
looks like
yeah.
someone's gone into me. Oh, my neck.
Thinking about it must be awfully embarrassing for you, this.
Right,
Awfully embarrassing.
All right.
We'll just forget about it, Ola. We'll just forget about it.
Ah.
Never to be mentioned again.
Ah, I see. Week 1 of Tim. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
No, Tim reversed a Mercedes into a wall in the showroom.
It wasn't just quite that simple, actually. So, Rob, I was reversing. So, the rear camera wasn't working. All the sensors were no good because they were all on full bleep in a very tight space. Rob were trying to get me centred, and I had to decode his hand signals, which was virtually impossible.
Yeah.
They were all over the shop.
This means into the wall, Tim, fast as you can.
It merely kissed the wall.
There was damage.
A couple of tiny little
There was
ma-
damage.
Something or
Looked like
nothing.
that. It was worse than that,
It would,
to write it off.
it was just like, keep
So
going,
upset
keep
about
going,
that.
keep going.
What a tosser. What a tosser. Now, I did allude to the fact I was going to talk you through this warranty claim because I sold a car. How's this story even go? It's been that long. I sold a lovely Audi A6 to a lovely guy in June 2024. Now, this bloke said he had a problem with the car about 6 months into this, and he said an issue with the gearbox where it just didn't feel like it was selecting gears properly. Now, I bought that car from somebody that I know, and I ran it myself for a week, and there were no problems with it at all. Genuinely no problems. Now, obviously, you've got to try and do the right thing, whether or not you think you're in the right or think you're in the wrong or know you're right or know you're wrong, whatever it is, you've got to go through the motions. So that guy went everywhere, all the different gearbox specialists trying to find out what this problem is, and everybody said the same thing. Either A, we don't think there's a problem, or B, I just can't work out what you're on about. It was just the smallest of issues when it's going from first to second. Now, it was an Audi S-tronic gearbox, and sometimes these things do have problems, and we did look at getting a replacement gearbox, and my head fell off. This sort of went back and forth for a long time, and I essentially booked him in with a specialist. He never turned up. He then went quiet for 2 or 3 months and nothing happened. So I figured he'd probably just got over the fact that maybe he was overthinking what was going on with his car. This all coincided when I was doing a house move and sort of doing a full rip out, trying to get it sorted, ready for Ralph being born, who's my 1-year-old, our 1-year-old, myself and my darling missus, who's an incredible woman. She watches. We're trying to get that sorted out, and I had 3 or 4 days where I didn't have my work phone on me. And when I came into the office to get it, because it was over a weekend, I had 28 missed calls from him. I thought, oh, right, okay, he's got back in touch then, has he? Now, it turns out he'd been away for a while and blah, 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 etc. At this point, we are now well over a year into it, and I decided the easiest thing to do here was I got him into a specialist, finally turned up with the car. They looked at it, couldn't really find any problems with it, and said, your only solution really is just replace everything on the gearbox, and then it can't have a problem. So I pulled the trigger on it, and I regret that, because I should have just dug my heels in. But you know when something just gets to a point where you just think, I haven't got the mental capacity for this anymore. He complained to his finance lender. Just, you know, it's just coming at you from every angle, and you got the house built, and you got a baby, and you got... So I just paid £3,000 it cost me to go from front to back of the gearbox and sort everything out at a specialist, a very reputable company up the road from us. Anyway, I've heard nothing from that customer for 6 months. That's all. So one would assume, not a thank you either, one would assume that it was now fixed. I then get an email through from Car Finance 24/7, another brokerage, who basically said the customers reached out with an issue with the car to do with the gearbox. And that was all that was on the email, so I rung them back. It took 15 minutes to get through to them, which doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're fuming, it is. And they basically said what's happened is this customer has now complained that there is a dent in his gearbox and it isn't fitted properly. 6 months after the repair was done, and he's never mentioned he's had a problem with it since. So that is ongoing in the background. Basically what they've said to him is, well, you need to provide evidence of this. So he's probably going to go underneath it and photograph it. And I don't know what's happened. I mean, has he dented the gearbox by going over a butt? But you know, when you just think, I ain't got the time for this. There's a wonderful expression in this industry called refund and move on. And I'm very tempted with this bloke, but it comes down to principle. I've done everything right, everything I possibly can, probably gone above and beyond. And quite frankly, if you've got a dent in your gearbox, it's probably you that's done it. And if it isn't causing a problem, how's that on me? Anyway. So, in a nutshell, totally chaotic week. We've bought several cars on Carmora. We've sold a couple of cars out of here. We've taken a deposit on a car. We've got some great footage together for YouTube. But overall, I am such a broken man at the moment, and I've been poorly as well, which led to me wanting a bacon sandwich on Saturday morning, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted, and I made the wrong choice, as you can see in this clip here.
One of Rob's freshly made.
Careful with that. Oh, don't pull it too hard.
You don't want an egg because although eggs are delicious, they bloody stink.
Stink the office.
And it lingers all day, doesn't it?
It does.
Right, so no, so your options are, are you going to go spam with whatever you get?
I kind of think I want spam.
Bacon and spam, never been done before, so that's a complete mystery.
I used to have bacon, spam and egg, that was my thing.
Did you?
But I go bacon, spam, mushroom. I like mushrooms in a sandwich.
I dare you to go bacon, spam and sausage.
Bacon, spam, sausage.
Mushrooms and beans.
Go on then.
Would you?
I think I'd regret it, don't you?
100%.
Yeah. Random sandwich
Generator.
It's got to be a thing in it. Include meat. Prepare. Liver, guacamole, grated cheese on a toasted muffin with mayonnaise and harissa.
Okay, it's settled then.
Yeah, oh good. I'm glad we came to that.
I'm sure they'll do that at the butcher's.
Bacon, sausage, mushrooms.
Red sauce.
Yeah.
Bacon, sausage, right, okay. I know. Tenner for 2 sounds, people.
It's gone mad. It's got a bit of weight on it now. Ooh. Where's the tomato sauce? Oh, they're always scrimp on something, aren't they? Have we got communal sauce? Tommy?
I think so. Good.
Can't taste out.
Can't taste though.
No.
Oh dear.
I'll probably do, won't it?
No, you don't do a time.
like a proper close.
No, a time lapse of him eating it.
So once again, thank you for joining me on my weekly update. A broken man I am this week, and a broken man I shall not be next week because I'm going to not work as hard. I'll definitely work as hard. But I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.